southeast zone of Nigeria predominated the officer corps of the Nigerian Army before January 15, 1966. All that fizzled out after our 30-month avoidable civil war. Now, the Nigerian Army has expressed concerns that youths from the zone are shunning recruitment into the army and has highlighted the need for sensitization.
Nigerians, I don't know if you have heard this one. This one is breaking out. This one are fresh, undiluted. So, the Nigerian Army, they beg the Eastern youth to join the military. They say, come and join army. The Nigerian Army is telling the youth from the East to join the military. Is it not funny to you? Bro, the seven I can't join army. Igbo youth, come and join the military. Come and join the military. That is what the Nigerian Army is telling the Igbo youth. Why is the EFCC not saying Nigeria Igbo youth come and join the EFCC? Why is the NNPC not saying Igbo youth come and join NNPC? Why is the custom not also advertising and calling the Igbo youth to come and join a custom? Or is it just Nigerian Army? Nigerian Army is not about calling the Igbo youth to come and join army. The ones there, are they being treated well? When they treat the military, are they being treated well? Are the ones there giving their lives, are they being treated well? I have cases of military suffering in that 44 National Resource Hospital there. Those ones fighting for this country. Yes, so many of them are there suffering, buying drugs from their own pockets. This is not, I said it before, they came for me, the military debunk it. But what I was telling you in that video is fact. Those guys in the 44 Army Resource Hospital are buying drugs from their pocket, and now you're here calling other people to come and join. Bro, if the military is paying fine, US recruit foreigners. You know, because why? The pay is nice. They recruit foreigners. Foreigners join the military. In UK, in Ukraine, in other countries, even in a war zone, the foreigners join. Why? Because the pay is very lucrative, it's very sweet. So if your pay is very sweet, if the military pay is very sweet, who will not join? There is no point of you calling people to come and join. They will join without you even calling. Not this one that you pay. How much is their salary? How many of them have gotten their bonuses? I have complaints from the military personnel that their bonuses have not been paid. They have not been paid their bonuses. And they are there, giving their life for this nation, giving their lives for Nigeria, giving their life for this country, and you're telling the other people to come and join. Whereas the one that have joined, you have not taken care of them properly. They are not being taken care of. So guys, this your call for the Eastern people to join the military is for me, is a forsake winner. Forsake.
Enugu State had a slot of about 200 persons. But they were not able to fill up to 100. A lot of young men that really want to join the army. But for some of these sentiments being bandied around, some of them lack encouragement from the local government councils. We have come to get the buy-in of the grassroots politicians, our royal fathers, to help us.
So guys, before we get into the detail of this video, take a look at this headline, and it says, join Nigerian Army and be paid cheaply by northern terrorists. IPOB warns Southeast youth. So IPOB issued this warning asking the Southeast youth not to dare join the military, that it is a way to push them out there for them to be easily, be paid. We know that it is generally believed that the youths who are, fighting for secession are seen to be terrorists. And these same terrorists are now being asked to go join the military. So they themselves, they believe that the plan is to just get them easily paid by the Boko Haram, and they are really following the command of the IPOB people that issued this warning, because the military is not finding any success in recruiting these people into the Nigerian military. The Igbo youths have shunned Nigerian military. Now the reaction is that if the Igbos avoid joining the military, that in years to come they are going to regret it, because when discussions will be done on the table, the Igbos will be excluded. Now ask me, all this while the Igbos have been joining, what have the Igbos enjoyed? We were told under Buhari's government that the Igbos were totally, excluded from Buhari's government, to the point that when they begin to discuss security related issues, no Igbo man is there. Those stories that came up, and they will go to the north, to the southeast, to go and start buying youths in the name of they are looking for IPOB members. And when they are discussing security related issues, no Igbo man is there. And if you check, when Buhari came in, he sacked many Igbo generals, because Buhari wanted to choose his own favorite people to be security chiefs. He ended up sacking so many Igbo heads. Now, Tinubu came in. Tinubu has equally sacked his own people so that he'll be able to choose his own choice candidate to be his chiefs. If you check, you see that the current IGP is supposed to have left office. And if he had left, an Igbo man was supposed to have taken over. But he refused to leave, and Tinubu has allowed him to stay, even though his stay is unconstitutional. So an Igbo man does not have a place in Nigeria. An Igbo man cannot be an EFCC chief. An Igbo man cannot be accountant general. An Igbo man cannot be IGP. An Igbo man cannot lead in any key or juicy position. Don't even go to NNPC and all that. Igbos have been totally excluded, and now they are going to tell the Igbos to join the military. They are having it very difficult in convincing the Igbos. Anyway, let me allow you to take a look at this. Will I call it an argument on why the Southeasterners should join? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.
Now to our next story. My history, and I dare say yours, tells me that the southeast zone of Nigeria predominated the officer corps of the Nigerian Army before January 15, 1966. All that fizzled out after our 30-month avoidable civil war. Now, the Nigerian Army has expressed concerns that youths from the zone are shunning recruitment into the Army, and has highlighted the need for sensitization. But the team leader of the year 2025 Nigerian Army Recruitment Awareness Team, himself a Southeasterner, Brigadier General Chima Ekafo, is in the region in a bid to change the narrative. He was at Umuahia to sensitize youths on the importance of taking up the slots allocated to the zone. Over now to the power of conviction.
It is understandable that people from the Southeast are reluctant to join the Nigerian Army, because when you join the Army, you are laying your life down for the flag.
Yeah.
And because of these Biafran sentiments, some of them believe that they don't want to join and fight for the Nigerian state. But it's unfortunate. Unfortunate because 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, when there is need to appoint officer corps at the top of the Nigerian Army, they would solidly discover that they don't have officers at the table.
Within their ranks.
And then they will now complain again of marginalization, of how they have not appointed somebody from Southeast as a top Army general.
Yeah.
But if you don't join, you cannot have the opportunity of rising through the ranks to get to the top of it. So they have to look at that. You cannot say because you are upset with the Nigerian state or because you are desirous of Biafran state, you will now let this opportunity pass to join the Nigerian Army. Because if you don't join the Nigerian Army, the Army will move forward and put people from other regions, and eventually these people will move up the ladder, and then they will get to the top, and they will be the one that can be appointed into positions. So it is important for leaders and leaders of thought in the East to sensitize their youth to know that it is important for them to be part of the army, the Nigerian Army, because as a component part of Nigeria, their interest in the Nigerian Army is also important. It's unfortunate what has happened because, like the news said, they used to dominate the Nigerian
Oh
army.
yeah, oh yeah.
Before 1966 school,
yeah.
they used to dominate the Nigerian army.
Meritoriously.
Meritoriously, because a lot of them joined. A lot of them went to when the colonial masters were here, and they were recruiting like this. At that time, most times at that time, the Western region were not so enthusiastic in joining.
Yeah.
It's just like the same thing that was happening now.
As a matter of fact, because of the preponderance of officers from the southeast region then, the late Sardauna said to his boys, you people join the army.
Yes, in fact, they were going to schools to recruit young people. Yeah. People like President Buhari were recruited in schools. Yeah. Because at that time, a lot of the regions were reluctant to join the colonial army. And it was the Southeast that were really joined. And they benefited from it because as at the time we got the independence, most of the commanders were from the Southeast region. But because of the war, and they had to go back to the East, and by the time they came back, they didn't have the kind of opportunity that they used to have. Yeah. So it's important for us not to make that kind of mistake again. The war has ended a long time ago. As far as I'm concerned, there is no Biafra on ground. It can be a dream, but there's no Biafra on ground. So for you to prefer to be loyal to the Biafran flag instead of Nigerian flag is delusional. Yeah. So it is important to sensitize the youth to say it is important for you to join the Nigerian army, because, like I said, 20 years, 30 years down the line, you will not be at the table when they are appointing people that will control and supervise the Nigerian army. At that time, they should not come out to say they are being marginalized, because if you are not at the table, there is no way you can be in a position of authority.
Well, a good thing that an officer, a brigadier general from the southeast region, for those who missed it, Brigadier General Chima Ekafor is in the region in a bid to convince youth that please come join the army. There are allocations for the region.
Yeah. Well, I think just like Mayor has said, there are a lot of reasons why the enthusiasm is low in joining the Nigerian army.
Understandably so.
Yes. I think in the first instance, he said, the Brigadier General said out in Abia State, for instance, out of 200 slots that were given to Abia State, only 53 people applied. That's less than 25, roughly 25% of the population of the slot given to Abia State.
Yeah.
And that's not a good one at all. I believe there are so many reasons, apart from the fact that the spirit of nationalism has declined over the years. In the past, the spirit to serve Nigeria, was very high all over the country. But now, it's not just...
Otherwise donning the Nigerian uniform, the army uniform, police...
It was a source of pride, But now, you discover that even when we were growing up, we wanted to go to University of Maiduguri, ABU, you want to do your service, you want to go to Sokoto. But now, you discover that people are shrinking. You want your... for security reasons, you want your son to go to the nearest university, you want him to do his civil service. If you put him in Adamawa State, you want to withdraw him back to your state. So there is a general decline in terms of the spirit of nationalism in the country. We can't throw that away. The other reason is that the Nigerian army, a lot of people think that because of the asymmetric war that is going on all over the country now, there is the prospect of being posted to, troubled areas, that immediately after your training, you may be compelled to go and fight terrorism. And a lot of people, a lot of parents, not even the youth alone, they don't want their children to go into such, unlike maybe 25 years ago. You are joining the army for a different reason. You are thinking of going to NDA, going for courses abroad and all that. But now, you know that when you join the army, there is a likelihood that after the first 6 months, you might be, circling into this. So, but I think it's important to educate our people because there are consequences in the future if they are not able to meet up with their quota.
Okay, it's time now to fall back on team leader Babajide Otitoju. BKO, just wondering how you weigh in here.
I think that the Biafra agitation has a role to play in this state of affairs. People are reluctant to join the army. If outside of the southeast, people are struggling to join the army. I know some of those who have reached out to me, how do I get in? But this is a peculiar situation in the southeast. Don't forget too that even when the idea of the students' loan came, the leadership of NEL Fund complained that in the southeast, people refused to apply for students' loan. The bulk of the people, many of the people who applied were actually from the far north.
Wow.
But people in the southeast refused to apply. They looked at the number of people who applied from the schools in the southeast. It was a very infinitesimal number. And the Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps, Benjamin Kalu, was so concerned. And he was asking, what really is the reason? This is something that indigent students can benefit from. And it's not as if every student in the southeast is rich, lives in luxury. So an opportunity to be able to get educated without having to spend so much, the people didn't apply. What they then did was to say, okay, let's sensitize them for that. Let's break it down for them. Let them realize that, look, there's a lot to gain. My suspicion is that they just refused to apply because they just felt, look, this thing will not work. The sort of tales that we read on social media whereby every effort that government makes get dismissed. We have educated people abroad who are trained here in Nigeria, who are using the certificates that universities in Nigeria gave them to live and work abroad. But they are putting down everything Nigerian. They do not see anything good about our country. So when the policy comes, is introduced, they say, no, it cannot work. My suspicion is that level of pessimism, or a lot worse level of pessimism, has been introduced to even recruitment into the army. How do you explain, for example, a situation in which Abia State had 200 slots and only about 50 took it up? That was last year. Whereas in other states they are eager to join the army. They are not even saying, no, they could end up being drafted to the war. If you join the army, you know that ultimately you have to fight in a war, either in form of peacekeeping. It is something that you sign to do.
Yeah.
So death will come. Most times, death will not find you on your bed. Death will find you maybe on the battleground or somewhere else. Those who died yesterday in Borno State, some of them were on the road. So I believe that the sensitization will help. The last time we had a Southeasterner as Chief of Army Staff was during the time of General Hejrika. And at that time, it was Jonathan that was in power. So I also think that when they see some of their people getting to the very top,
yeah,
you see more of them getting to the very top. The Chief of Naval Staff, for example, is from the southeast. Although some people are telling us all that nonsense that is actually from Kogi and all that. It's nonsense. It's from the southeast. So if more service chiefs come from the southeast, maybe in future things will begin to change. But there's a general apathy, and that has to be addressed. And speaking politically now, the concerns of our people in the southeast about the way they've been placed within the Nigerian Federation has to be addressed.
Yeah.
Once that is addressed, these issues will not come up.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you very kindly. All right. Now, folks, we'll go on a break. but return with very shortly. Please, this is still...
The Nigerian Army headquarters have begun a sensitization of mass enrollment of Igbo youths into the Nigerian Army to fill up the drop-in quota of the Southeast Zone. Today in Enugu, Army delegates are interfacing with local government chairmen, traditional rulers, a town union president, and leadership of the student union, echoing the importance and motivating Igbo youths to join the Nigerian Army. Noting that withdrawal of Igbo youth from joining the army en masse could affect the collective interest of the zone.
The last quarter of last year, Enugu State had a slot of about 200 persons, but they were able to fill up to 100. A lot of young men that really want to join the army, but for some of these sentiments being bandied around, some of them lack encouragement from the local government councils. We have come to get the buy-in of the grassroots politicians, our royal fathers, to help us to raise these numbers so that Enugu State can fill up their slots.
Stakeholders in their respective speech applauded the initiative and accepted to carry the message home, while urging the army to address fears of marginalization of the zone.
The army, as one of the topmost organs of the government, wants us to participate. Let the story change. Let's go through some fundamental thoughts about Igbo's intersection.
We are more interested now than ever because he has communicated in such a way that makes us understand that it is not just about contributing to the nation building, it is about investing in your own self by belonging to the force that binds the entire country. Those of us who are privileged to be the stewards at our various local governments will drive down this message back to our place.
Before now, our people used to.
Alright, as you can see on Nigerian Story, breaking news. AP's pledges free evacuation medicals for trafficked Nigerian girls in Ivory Coast. This is happening after Very Dark Man brought the issue to public attention. As you can see, it is also on Vanguard. Recall that activists Very Dark Man, Martin Vincent Hotel, raised the alarm over the underage Nigerian girls trafficked to Ivory Coast. Reacting, AP's boss, Oyema, offered free flights back home and medical care for the Nigerian girls. He expressed deep concern and condemnation over the recent discovery of Nigerian underage girls trafficked to Ivory Coast. We will bring them home. As you can also see on Vanguard, Alan Oyema, the airline's chairman, made the announcement in a statement. He called for collective effort to discourage trafficking, emphasizing its inhumane and ungodly nature. So from the news, Alan Oyema is going to avail an airplane. He's going to avail an airplane that will go to Ivory Coast to bring back those girls after all documentation have been properly made. So first of all, shout out to Alan Oyema for coming to the rescue of these girls. Also, he is not even a government agent, so he's not charged with the responsibility of doing this. But he saw the whole situation. He understands the importance of doing this, considering the fact that first of all, they are children. And secondly, they are also Nigerians. So he decided to do this. This will not be government agent. This will not be government agent at all. Do you understand? And he decided to do this. So God bless Alan Oyema. Secondly, to the people saying Very Dark Man, you carry 20 million, go give government agency. What about their funding? You people don't understand. Anything where concern poor people, the funding they poor. If them bring the funding of nnamdi for you with the responsibilities where they charged with you, be surprised. And you know why the funding will not be much? Because now poor people that they work with, not be poor man picking that they traffic, not be poor man picking that they go bring. I don't know if you understand. So 80% of the rescues that nnamdi will do now for the poor. So the funding cannot be big. You don't see the way Abike Dabiri quickly just come out herself. This same Abike Dabiri don't go rescue traffic victim before from another country. So as an African country now, we no consign her. Do you understand? She even they laugh. Thank God for the likes of Alan Oyema, where see the need, where get human conscience. Abike Dabiri felt like it is not a concern. If to say I call out the Minister of Petroleum, the fact saying a taxpayers' money in your hand, you are supposed to redirect very dark man. And again, I will still say it is a concern because they are in diaspora. It is not my concern. Now, why country spoil like this? If na advanced country, you call customer, they go redirect you, go another place. But that's by the way. So understand it today that anything that concern poor people, funding no they always dey because they don't care about you. They only care about you during politics. Let's keep that aside. Again, since where this thing happened, as those northern girls, those Hausa girls did that video, no northerner don't reach out to me or even send a message or even make a post about it to say, oh, say Arewa children for somewhere. None of them. None of them. Nobody. Hello, very dark man. Yane, munge woni video de kasa internet. Yane, yazamu tebeke kamukao. Nothing like that. Now, I let you they bring plane. Do you understand? So shout out to Alain Oyema and God will bless you. And shout out to the Rattle gang for sharing that. You understand? We did together. You see, the whole effort is paying off. You understand? The most important part is to bring these girls back to Nigeria and also make we join hands together to fight all these traffickers. We don't feel overlook them because say it never happened to us. And to immigration, please tighten our borders. Olubumetundi Ojo, the Minister of Interiors, you are in charge of the immigration. Direct them to do the right thing. Direct them to do the right thing. I don't want to come born for Nigeria every say tomorrow. My pikin me na Jack Paco, in a street boy. Me na street boy, other street boy day. Or okay, maybe now I don't get some kind of small thing, but I still be street boy. Maybe I go fit put my own pikin for another better school, better than the one when I go in the future. But again, I still need to speak to my people, speak for my people. What of the people where we say they no get to put the children inside all those kind of schools? They'll come, they carry their children, they go. They carry leaders of tomorrow, they carry them follow border. Shout out to Alain Oyema, God will bless you. And again, answer Alain Oyema, please. Please, I want just to use the opportunity. If you watch my video, just want to use this small opportunity, beg you. I go do one for another video. Peace and love, don't play. If you play, go and learn, and you will learn the hard way. Don't play.
Good to see you. So let's take it back. Tell me, at what point did you discover that your path is to tell stories that sometimes could be risky via music? At what point did you discover that this was your path in life?
Okay, that was back in military school when I was training to be a very good sharpshooter, and at the same time training to be the best ping pong player. At that time, I was playing for Kanu State as a table tennis player. And I started having dreams of a gold microphone swinging towards me all the time, most importantly, whenever I'm sleeping. And I was confused. I didn't know what it was all about. So I asked my mom about it, and she told me that God wanted to use my voice to speak for the voiceless. And I must take that, passionately. I must take that as a religion, and I must take it passionately because it doesn't normally fall by. And the challenges that I will face is that I should learn to be contented when I take this kind of job as serious as possible as my career. So it's been from a long time, and that dream has been directing me to my destination, and I'm not surprised where I am today. To God be the glory. My responsibility basically is to use music to add value to the lives of people. When I was playing ping pong, I didn't really know much about music, but I was invited to the Soldiers Club and I saw people rapping for the first time, and I was like, wow, this is interesting, But at that moment, I get to understand that they were actually miming on other people's songs. So I decided to start writing stories at a tender age to speak for the voiceless. So if I'm saying something that is wrong, it's my responsibility to talk about it through music, whether anybody likes it or not.
Interesting. I remember the Remedy days, you know, the fun. Were you trying to, at that point in time, were you just having fun, or you were just trying to blow up? Because it was a big deal.
Yeah, at that moment, I was just trying to create an edge for myself, get to be in the industry. And when the time comes, when I'm doing my thing, then I will switch to my call and start doing what God has asked me to come to do in this world.
Do you sometimes regret the path that you've chosen, or the niche, the genre, if I would put it that way, that you've chosen? Do you think you might have been richer if you had chosen to just be very commercial with your music?
Now, Fela Anikulapo Kuti says that music is not just for merry. Music is a tool to speak for people. Music is a tool to fight corruption. So I'm a student of Fela Anikulapo Kuti, and I was very, very happy that God actually led me to my call, and I love what I'm doing. I have no regrets at all.
Okay, we've seen the resurfacing of one of your very old songs, Nigeria. I'm sure you know the song I'm talking about. It has resurfaced on TikTok and on a lot of social media platforms. Why do you think that song has re-emerged? Why are people playing it again?
Are you talking about the new song or Nigeria Jaga Jaga?
Nigeria Jaga Jaga.
Well, Nigeria Jaga Jaga will continue to be the second national anthem, whether anybody likes it or not. To be sincere, I'm a passionate Nigerian. I love this country so much. Truth is bitter, and people don't want you to speak the truth. You know, I want to wake up one day. And find out that Nigeria Jaga Jaga, the song, is no more relevant. I'll be so happy. I always pray to wake up one day and find out the song is no more relevant. And for the song not to be relevant anymore, then we need to start seeing development. We need to start seeing constant electricity. We need to start seeing real leadership. We need to start seeing, security. We need to start seeing our leaders taking security as priority in protecting the lives and property of, our citizens. All these things are not there. So until development comes to Nigeria, that's when the song will not be relevant anymore. So I want to wake up in the morning and find out that the song is no more relevant. I mean, this is 24 years after, and the song is still relevant, sadly.
Now let's talk about your new song. It was tagged NTBB, not to be broadcasted, because it contravenes with certain sections of the Nigerian Broadcasting, Commission, the laws. However, there has been a lot of conversations around it, and one of those conversations is some people think that you took a direct swipe at a non-elected official. Is there a particular reason why you decided to take that route?
Okay, I was inspired by Tinubu, to record this song. I saw a video where he was campaigning for his father and he was defending his father, saying that my father is the best president, my father is the greatest president. They are coming for my father, they are coming for my father. My father is the greatest president, my father is the greatest president. He repeated it like 5 times or 7, but Sheyi, I differ, because you look more perfect, when you are silent than when you speak, I would advise, Sheyi to hand over the microphone to the MC next time. He lacks the charisma and purpose to express himself, telling the truth about, the true economic situation of Nigeria at the moment under his father's government. Tinubu is the best father to Sheyi Tinubu, but he's the worst president to Nigeria. You know what I mean? He has empowered Sheyi Tinubu as a son, but Nigerian youth don't have jobs, talk less of food to eat. The Nigerian youth can travel by road, because of kidnapping, So I asked Tinubu to travel by road, without insecurity, let him feel the pains, of ordinary citizens, Nigerian youth are just asking for basics, electricity, security, enabling economic policy, job creation, not palliatives. Palliatives, so I keep hearing people saying that why should I attack Tinubu personally? If Tinubu came to be part of politics, he talks about his father. He was defending his father. If he never talked about it, I wouldn't have recorded a song like that. So I am answering him, by replying him with that video that he made. So if Shahid had kept quiet, I wouldn't have said anything directly to him. So that's it, my brother. So I'm inspired by Shahid Tinubu to record that song. Tinubu lied about fuel subsidy, lied about economic recovery, lied about fixing the naira, lied about a lot of things, So it's a saddened situation. And it's my responsibility to say it the way it is. If you listen to the song, there's nowhere you hear any insult. It's just basic fact of everything that his father has done through his policy.
So you're saying that you did not directly insult Sheyi Tinubu in any way or form?
Tell me where you see it. Tell me where the insult is in the song.
No, I'm just asking because some people are saying that there's a direct attack on a non-elected individual.
Of course, because when I speak truth to you, you will see that insult. Yeah. Truth is bitter. So when I speak the truth to you, you see that insult.
All right, now let's talk about the banning of the song. It seems like this is not the first time it's happening to you. This is the second time. Do you think it has made the song more popular?
Why would you ban a song that has no insult in it, that has just pinpointed the ills in the society, that has just talked about, the bad policy of the president, the bad policy under President Tinubu government? Let me tell you a few things. I'm going to list very important failures of this government to you, just few. One, increase in petroleum price. Tinubu increased the price of petroleum by 300% after announcing the withdrawal of subsidy. Two, inflation. Prices of goods keep increasing. CBN keep raising interest rate to combat inflation, but they keep failing, to tackle it. Three, hunger. The level of hunger, has skyrocketed. Broken a record. The promises, it's a saddened situation. The using palliative to address situation is not a solution. Four, reduction of purchasing power. The high inflation has affected purchasing power of Nigerians. People can't even buy anything. Salary is 70,000 naira, and that salary is not enough for you to pay for electricity in 1 month. Don't forget they've increased electricity tariffs, and we still don't have light. 5, insecurity. Terrorists are kidnapping Nigerians, hundreds of Nigerians in a single operations. Farmers can't go back to farm anymore, and the government is busy bringing in GMOs, genetic modified organisms, to eradicate Nigerians. You and I know it's not healthy. Instead of you sending your security agent to go into the forest to, clear these terrorists. 6, increase in transportation. The high cost of petroleum automatically affected, transportation. 7, devaluation of naira. The devaluation of naira has brought in many disadvantages for a country, that relies, on imports. 8, poverty and reduction in wealth. Many people have been thrown into poverty, in just 2 years. The wealth of others have been reduced because of devaluation of naira under this government. 9, high cost Rafi continue. He took plenty, my brother. That's so. Why won't I reply Tinubu after he came out to say that his father was the best president? No, so sorry, your father isn't the best president. People are dying. People are crying. People are jumping into lagoon. You know what I mean? So Sheyi, my message to you is tell your daddy, tell your father that this is the reality of Nigerians. Nigerians are dying. You've never witnessed poverty in your life before. You travel with private jet all the time. You know what I mean? So please tell your dad. And if you want to know how truly this is, go out without your security. Go to what's it called? Yaba. Board a bus that is going to Benin and follow through the Ore Road and feel the pains of Nigeria. You know what I mean?
Idris,
So,
yes, there have also been unconfirmed reports that you were offered about 200 million to sort of silence this particular song. How true are these unconfirmed reports online?
Okay, so I've been through this road before. I know how they play their tricks, you know. So 2 days ago, I received a call while I was in the car, you know, driving home. And the person was like, hello, I'm Honorable. He called his name so quickly. And I asked him, you said Honorable what? And he didn't answer me. And he continued his conversation immediately, saying that I was in a meeting last week where the government of Tinubu were saying that they were going to reach out to you. Please, when they call you, don't take the money. Don't take the money. We are going to be supporting you on the ground. We are going to give you 200 million. Look at this guy. You look at me like a child. You won't put word for my mouth. Make up on the talk, say, okay, really? Oh, I'm interested. Who are you? So then later on, you play my audio conversation out for people to say, look at the person that is fighting corruption. My brother, I've lived my life 3 decades. If I wanted to be a billionaire, I would be praising these people. You know what I mean? So I am not interested in that. My responsibility is to have a better Nigeria. Have a better Nigeria in the areas of when we will have strong presidents who will wake up in the morning and say, you know what? Let's change this constitution back to regional government, where everybody will go back to where they belong to and make use of their resources to do what? To create wealth for their people. Then take whatever you need to take center, instead of everybody going to center to come and grab whatever it is that is called national cake. Okay, Secondly, remove all these judiciary criminals. Whether you like it or not, they are criminals, because the poor people, last hope should be the judiciary. But unfortunately, the judiciary is cash and carry. So my brother, there is problem. There's problem in the land. People are dying. People are killing themselves. People are committing suicide. So the best person who gave me the opportunity to be able to record this song and inspire this song is Sheyi Tinubu, because he came out to defend his father. So I need to send the message back to him to go and tell his father that, listen, there's problem. People are dying. There's hunger in the land. There's corruption in the land. The government has been borrowing too much money. What are you doing with all the monies? We don't know. Allegedly, we're hearing different stories that is going up and down. Is it the Natasha story you want to talk about, or the state of emergency in Rivers State? For goodness sake, there are kidnappers in Castinas, killing people, kidnapping people in Kebbi State, every Kaduna State, all part of Northeast. There is no state of emergency. Why state of emergency? Why removing a elected governor? It is obvious you guys are interested in Rivers State and you want to grab it for yourself. So my brother, there is problem. I don't know how to say to be diplomatic about the truth. I tell you to your face, whether you like it or not, I have a problem with that.
All right, Idris, you speak with so much passion, and of course you've mentioned certain issues that is very, very clear to the common man and is very, very clear to the everyday Nigerians. However, I also want to get very personal with you. Has there been any points in your life where you decided to say, you know what, since nothing has necessarily changed since over 25 years I've been singing about the state of the country and not much has changed. Have there been any pressure on you by family or friends to sort of change your path so that perhaps maybe you could make more money? Has this path been profitable to you, and has there been sort of societal and family pressure for you to sort of change who you are?
Do I need to change the truth? Do I need to start lying to be able to make money? My brother, wake up from your sleep. I don't need that. As far as I'm speaking the truth, and I have a little bit that I'm doing that it's giving me money to take care of my family, I am contented. I don't need to sing praise anybody to be able to be successful in billions to take care of my family. I am satisfied and I'm contented. My wife and I are doing great with my children. I'm paying my children's school fees with a little business. Do you know that I have a farm in Jos, Plateau State, where I produce moringa and strawberry? But we can't go to Jos anymore because terrorists have taken over about 58 local governments. All these things are happening. Zulu Mabi, what is his name? The governor of Borno State is coming out. He's all over the news saying that, listen, man, these terrorists are gaining more territory in the northeast. They're all over our forest. Do we have to keep quiet? So I should keep quiet about that and start praising people just because I want to make money. Keep your money to yourself. Listen,
so what would you now?
I travel every. Hold on, please.
Yeah.
I travel every year to human rights projects, and whatever it is that I get from my human rights projects from every part of the university that I go to do my fellowship is enough for me to take care of myself and my family. I don't need to sing praise anybody and lie about the reality on ground just to survive. Keep your money to yourself.
All right, we have to go now, but very quickly in 60 seconds, what would you have to say to other people with voices, celebrities, influencers, just 60 seconds, what would you have to say to them for those that have been supposedly quiet?
Continue to be happy slaves and continue to launder money for this government and other government that comes. That's why you can never speak the truth. God bless Nigeria and may Nigeria.
So guys, I don't know what you make of all this going on. I don't know what your thoughts are, you know. We started this discussion from the Igbo youths rejecting the Nigerian military. People have welcomed that idea. Like the video you saw, I got that video from Twitter where a guy was reacting saying, why are the Igbos not in EFCC? Why are the Igbos not among the chiefs, the security chiefs? Why are the Igbos not in NNPC? Why are the Igbos not in key positions? The Igbos are now being asked to go join the military. I think, anyway, somebody was equally reacting, saying, Ndume, who came out to say that the Nigerian military is suffering from lack of manpower, that Ndume is leaking intelligence information to Boko Haram people, you know, because when they get to know that Nigeria is struggling with, you know, the military to fight against them, that is going to empower them, it's going to strengthen them, it's going to boost their morale, they want to fight to the point that they want to conquer the Nigerian military. So guys, the situation in Nigeria is really getting funny. Now, somebody reacted and was saying that all the people the Nigerian military has been recruiting, do they take good care of their people? Now they want Nigerians to join. Do they take good care of their people? That's the question. We've seen military people that cannot even transport themselves home. But all these politicians get into office, just their allowance alone, just their wardrobe allowance, just their this or just. Nigeria is now seen as one of the poorest countries in the world. But guess what? Our political office holders they are like one of the most paid in the world. So tell me how to correlate these two things. We have people who know that Nigeria is getting poorer, but they go home with the fattest of salary. Now they are looking for people to, in short, a time is coming, all this information is going to boost up Boko Haram people. They will now want to say, oh, Nigeria doesn't have enough fighters to fight them. They want to now stage real war. Don't be surprised that ordinary man on the street might be forced to go fight. Because guess what? Other countries of the world will not even mind Nigeria. Because now is the time for them to take good care of their military, empower them, strengthen them, train them, make sure they are welfare. You will see a military man. No, I've seen a military man on Twitter who said he has never been paid all this pension and all that. You know, some of them cannot even afford to take care of their families after retirement. So a whole lot. You ask yourself, if you join the Nigerian military, what are you going to earn? What are you going to benefit? You might just end up being quiet, like people are already saying. That it might just be an easiest way for someone to exit into eternity. So why not just stay and be managing your life than going to expose yourself? Because actually they are looking for people to go fight. They are looking for people to go fight. And if you see, look at the people who are going around sensitizing others, they are the ones sitting in the office. They don't even know what it means fighting out there. We have been told that the Nigerian military gets up 1,000 something for meal. And then some of them are paid 50,000 naira, which you cannot even give to your housemate. You know, and tell me how would they come to a place like Twitter, where you know that people who are on Twitter are people who can even afford money to buy airtime data. For you to be able to afford money to always be on Twitter, that means you make more than 50K. So how dare they come there to begin to advertise and tell people to join the Nigerian military? Anyway, you won't blame the Igbos. They've been tagged to be terrorists, you know. Now you want them to join the military. You won't blame the Igbo youths. These are people who are fighting for secession, seeing the marginalization, which everybody can see, kuru, that the Igbos have been rejected. Their plan is just to crush them, but they refuse to be crushed. Now they say, allow us to go. We want to be on our own. And you say, no, you will not allow them. And then you still not want them to breathe fresh air in Nigeria. Now you want them to join the military. It will be difficult because an Igbo man does not have hope in the Nigerian system, except the Tinubu's government will see need to start giving hope to the Southeasterners by going to discuss with them. Some people neglect it. You don't want to discuss with them. You keep the fight going on. That's just my own. So guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others.